Welcome to the Cool Down Lap. I'm James J. This is the Midwest Motorsports highlight show from the Charlotte Roval, the GT4 cars. Sam Hubbard leads the AM division right now over Justin Glickner. David Wortman, Michael Odell will all have big races at the Charlotte Roval. In the pros, Max Bauer and Jason Phillips battle it out for first. Josh Bloom, Steve Hansel, Justin Thaler round out the top five. The Charlotte Roval, two chicanes are major factors, including the turtles. No, not that turtle. These turtles to define the racing line from off tracks. Here we are at the start. Max Bauer and Jason Phillips on the front row. Max Bauer checks out, has a great start. Jason Phillips right behind in row two. Brian Coxon and Justin Thaler work it out. But further back, you got a couple of pit lane starters. They work their way out, including Adrian Fedorowski. We'll see him in a second. But everybody's sorting it out for the IPLs. But here comes Dan Gish in the Aston Martin, right behind Francis Faustino. Dan Gish spins himself out, trying to avoid contact. Inadvertently, look behind Taylor Montague, barely misses in the AMG. Adrian Fedorowski has nowhere to go, and to the back he goes. Dan Gish restarts his race, and we're racing later on that same lap. This is still the opening lap. Brian Coxon and Michael Odell behind. Brian Coxon looking up ahead at Justin Thaler into the first lap. Misses the chicane. Goes driver's left of the turtle, which allows Michael Odell, who's blinking, magically appear up ahead in the Red Bull Porsche, losing a spot. Deeper in the field, Justin Glickner feeling the pressure from Josh Bloom. Glickner goes in as hard as he can, and remember those turtles, and makes contact. Front wheels off the ground. Car's not going to turn that way. Right into the safer barrier. He goes, damaged car, gets it going back straight. Here's John Aslan finding the same turtle, spinning out driver's left and doing the Midwest Motorsports lawn care duties for this race. Here we are, Steve Hansel with a new paint job this week. Spins it out, putting the power down out of turn 3 and puts him a couple of spots back. Here we are with John Daniels in the start-finish chicane. Michael Odell blinking up ahead. John Daniels in the black and red Porsche gets 4 wheels in the air, bounces, rebounds, exhaust flame lighting up the night sky before spinning out, and to avoid a dangerous rejoin, turns in away from the track and gets his race going back again. Here we are, Sam Hubbard and David Wortman in the bus stop. Sam Hubbard in the silver AMG spins out, trying to put the power down. David Wortman gets by. Josh Bloom has been chasing Brian Coxon for several minutes. Brian Coxon makes contact at turn 8, coming into the high banks. And it's all Josh Bloom needs to get side by side coming into the bus stop on the back chicane. Finally makes it happen. Remember this move. Josh Bloom now looks ahead at Justin Thaler. Takes him a couple laps to catch up. Follows Justin Thaler for a little while. And here he goes, Justin Thaler blinking up ahead at Andrew Miller. Andrew Miller trying to decide how to let Justin go. Josh Bloom almost runs over the back of Justin Thaler's McLaren. Gets offline for a little bit, but that also gives him a gap to carry momentum out of turn 8. While Justin Thaler tries to get by Andrew Miller, has to lift to avoid Andrew Miller. And again, Josh Bloom, his favorite place to pass is the butt stop, and he gets one more spot. All Justin Thaler can do is let him go. We're right at 39 minutes, though, so Justin Thaler uses this time to take the pit stop, and maybe Josh Bloom will have a bad in-lap of his own. Justin Thaler can try to get that spot back. Josh Bloom, not one to make many mistakes, does not, and keeps the position for third. Later on in the race, Adrian Fedorowski in the Porsche, Justin Glickner in the McLaren behind. Fedorowski spins out right in front of Glickner. Nowhere for Glickner to go again. Same thing happened in VIR, but behind Brian Storm has nowhere to go. And kablamo, here we are riding with Adrian Fedorowski now. Turtle curb on the inside, giving him an upset. Spins out. Glickner hits him, trying to get out of Glickner's way. I think Adrian Fedorowski gets into Brian Storm. Let's ride with Brian Storm now and slow it down. He has nowhere to go. Adrian Fedorowski sees him too late, into the wall, backs it up, is backing now, trying to figure out what's going on. Adrian Fedorowski goes directly to the pit lane. Brett Storm trying to figure out, lets Jason Phillips go by. Good to see Jason Phillips getting some screen time. All right, 45 minutes later, Sam Hubbard and a pit stop has to finally make a move on David Wortman, finally catches back up after a long chase to regain that spot that he lost earlier. And that's how they ended up. Max Bauer gets the checkered flag as Francis Faustino jumps in the top 10 overall. And Jason Phillips, 30 seconds behind. Josh Bloom, not far behind Jason Phillips. And that's the wrap for the pro division. In the AMs, Michael Odell has a big lead, trying to get into the top 5 just for bragging rights. Brian Cox in the pro. Michael Odell just comes to the booth for the interview. But how they wrap up, Max Bauer, flag to flag win. Jason Phillips, flag to flag second. Josh Bloom had to work for that third spot. AM division points, Sam Hubbard over Justin Glickner, just barely. 30 points, the difference between the top 2. As we go to the pros now, Max Bauer commanding lead over Jason Phillips. Johan DeRoy's out. Josh Bloom, Steve Hansel, Justin Thaler hold position. Pro division eats up. Next week, as we go to the Grand Prix of Long Beach, street circuit, anything can happen, and probably will. That's it for the cool down lap. I'm James J, reminding you to stay in your lane. Don't forget to go to midwest-motorsports.com or scan the QR code for more.